What is up, everybody? The ceiling. Hey, you subscribed? Are you? No? Hey, subscribe, will ya? And if you are subscribed already, I really appreciate you. Hey, in the last video, we went ahead and created a tag mixer package key, a unique key, called in our traffic sources, predefined sources. In the video before that, we kind of made this this little page here that's going to go ahead and handle all of our plugin's main functions for us, which is editing our keys, adding new keys, and setting new package settings. Well, in this video, let's go ahead and just jump into creating the new custom post for this, because we're going to create another custom post. Let's actually make it add the custom post, and let's add metadata, shall we? All right, well, that's pretty simple because we already have a lot of the code pre-written. So if we head back into our plugin and we go to the includes and the core base plugin name class, and we scroll on down, scrolling to admin hooks, you're going to see that we already defined a custom source key custom post for our sources. Remember back in our settings page, when those settings get saved, those predefined traffic sources, right here, they add as a custom post. That's why they're able to be called from here. Well, let's go ahead and add a new custom post that also handles these new package names. Pretty simple because we already did it. So once again, let's go ahead and just take this. Nobody knows that we're doing that. And here we go. So exactly the same thing. Could we do this in a single function? Sure. Am I splitting them up so that it's easier for you guys to see? Absolutely. And I don't really care what anybody has to say, whether it's good, bad coding, whatever. This is just to show you guys how to get it done. And that's the point. So we're going to do custom tag mixer source key instead of custom. Let's go ahead and pull that out of there. And instead of custom tag mixer source key, we're going to take custom. We're going to say tag mixer package, baby. Oh yeah, things are getting real now. So we're going to take this tag mixer package and we're going to head back to the plugin admin. And as you see, we're going to kind of copy right on this. Real simple. Let's go ahead and just make a couple lines down here. We're going to call in a public function. We just copied that right over from our other page, open some brackets, boom, we got a function. And then what we got to do is we got to take all this stuff, hey, why can't I take the lines? There we go. We're going to take all this stuff from here, and we're going to put it here. And now what we're going to do is do some changing around. We're going to do, instead of tag mixer source keys, and I might actually speed up this part, like I said, because sometimes when I got to type, it's pretty boring. So register our custom post type for handling the packages. Perfect. Tag mixer. All right, so like I said, guys, I just finished. I just went ahead and paused because I had to write just the word package, packages over and over and over. All right, and then just I registered, so I changed it to tag mixer package. That's the new custom type we're going to be doing. I left all this other stuff the same because in this tutorial, this kind of just makes sense for it. And I'll change anything that I need to, but this is okay for now. And I have covered this in previous videos. And also there's like boatloads of documentation on this. And on custom arguments for custom post types. And then I went in, like I said, and changed this info, and then I registered it. So now we have a new custom post type called tag mixer package. All right, well, now we're in business. So back on this is our package settings page. We want the page we need to go down and do a little bit of form editing, obviously, because in this form right now, well, guess what? We have it doing nothing and going nowhere. Well, just like our previous videos, in order to make this page set a custom post, we have to give it a method of get and an action of nothing. And we don't even necessarily have to give it an action, by the way. We just want it to refresh to the same page. I went back to our general settings page because I'm going to show you how we can take right from our other one. So action, nothing, method, get. So it's going to send this information right here via get variables back to us, which is great. And in order to do that, in order to get that information, which is no problem, we have to go ahead and modify this page just a wee little bit. Now, why do we have to do that? Well, we need a hidden form, or a hidden field. Do you remember that? WordPress has a really strange thing about page. This here, page variable, which determines which administrative page we're on, we actually need to capture this and resend it back. I've shown this, I think, a few times already, but I'm going to show it again. And I'll show you how that works. So back on our general settings page, that's what I just changed back over to here. We already have that input because we wrote it in a previous video right here. And we have to add the current page, by the way, to the top. That's the variable it's using. So this is a hidden input type field that sends first in the plugin, so that, or in the form, so that it's the first variable being outputted before any of these variables get sent through. And it's calling the cur page, which actually does not exist. So if we go back to our general settings page and we go to the top, the cur page is literally just getting the page variable. That's this variable, and it's storing it so we can reuse it. So back over here, in that code we wrote above, in this part, we can put it in the same thing, and we can say get the page. So now we have the page too. No problem. Okay, so now that part of our form's done. That's going to refresh to the same page. We named these properly, so it's going to send them back through, and that should be it. Now we should be able to go up and write the function or write the code to handle writing a post to the database. Let's do that at the very top, by the way. Let's say check to see if we need to add the new tag mixer package, because we're going to have a couple of these here, right? One for edit, one for update. So this is simple. If you look back at our other page, we already kind of did this. We say if is set and tag mix source name. Now this is a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and just grab this whole thing right here, and I'll show you why right now, because this is pretty much the code we need. So we can close that other one. Okay, but it's not tag mix source name, is it? The very first thing that we're sending, if we come back down to our form and take a look, is the tag mixer package name. Remember, that's the very first thing. In this case, it says Home Depot. So we need to say if tag mixer package name says something, the post title is going to equal the package name. The content we're going to set to the key, and then we're going to add custom meta for the rest. So we're going to add the key as the content, and then we're going to leave everything else the same except for the post type. The post type is this new post type we just created, the tag mixer package. Whoops, not twice. And save. All right, and there it is. So we're already adding that new post, right? And I've shown this a few times. That's why it's so easy. Now we're going to say add some post meta to this new tag mixer package, because we have a couple things for meta that we need to add, right? We need to add the first thing we need to add is we need to add the, and in this case, we're only going to add one meta, which is the source. We're going to break the source down, and then we're going to add its key in the meta. And I'll show you how we do that, which is really simple because we grabbed the result. When we insert a post and we insert with our data and we do result gives us the ID of the post, which is great because that's how we need to add meta. It's super easy that way. So I actually copied this code from our last YouTube tutorial, but I'll explain exactly what it does. There's no reason for me to rewrite it when I already wrote it once. So here's what we got. So we're going to say if result is something, if result exists, and it is not equal to an error. If it has no error, then we're ready to go. So we're going to say result equals the new post ID. Now, we don't actually have to do this, and I'm probably going to get rid of that in this particular one because it doesn't really make sense. So I was just giving it, and the other one I was showing a way on how you could output the ID and all that. So result is the ID. And so in order to do that, all we have to do is do an add post meta, just like this. Now here's what it wants from you. First thing it wants is the post ID. Well, guess what? I just said we got that from result. So for the post that we just made. Now it wants the meta string, and this is the string that it's going to actually be storing in the database, or like the title that we call to. And in this case, if you think about it, we're actually naming this what? What is this? This is the source ID, right? This is the one that comes through this select group, and that's the source key. So we can just call it like source, like the source key or something like that. So we can just say the source key. And then we can just, what's the value being added? Well, and then we're going to get rid of that unique boolean because that doesn't matter in our case. And what is it going to be? It's going to be a get variable because we're sending through what was selected in the option field. And the option in the field is, what was the name of it? Source keys, right? That's the name of our select drop-down box. And that's what's going to contain the value of what we selected. And it's going to add a post meta. That's it. Now, this should work just fine. There should be no reason why this doesn't work. And also, we can go ahead and run an output just to make sure. So let's go ahead and jump through and do that, and let's see what it does. So back over here, I'm just going to go for a refresh, make sure nothing's broken. Oh, something's broken. Unexpected partials on line 34. Oh, all I didn't do is add the semicolons, which will get you. So watch out for those. All right, now nothing's broken. And what we can do now is we can go ahead and add it. Let's just go ahead and add the Home Depot. I would have queued the Home Depot music, but then I would have got I would have said demonetized, but I'm not monetized anyway. And Facebook. And then let's go ahead and save the new tag mixer package. Aha. Now, as you see in the get, right, there's a bunch of variables up here that got added, and we didn't actually include any kind of like message to say you did it or like there was a success. So let's just go ahead and write a small output to go ahead and output it underneath this right here. That's going to be real easy to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to just steal some code real quick. You guys don't even have to actually write this. I'm just showing you how to do this. So underneath our submit button, this is, like I said, it's just going to be for the fun of it. We're going to just see what our custom posts look like. And we could actually go to the phpMyAdmin. There's like 100 ways we could do this, but I just wanted to show it visually. So what we're going to do is we're going to say source keys. I don't even care if we're using the same code or whatever. This is all just temporary. It's all going to get deleted anyway. Let's just call it like source keys 2 and say if the count of source keys is greater than 0, we have some source keys. Let's go ahead and output them or do something with them. So we need to grab the other post type, which is our not the source key, tag mixer packages. And we need to put that here. And then it will be greater than 0 because we have one. And in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to print our, that's a readable array, as you guys remember. And we're going to print the source keys 2. And by the way, I need to add a 2 here, or it wouldn't have worked. So we're going to add source keys 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and just see what that does. It should output something right here. Nothing, huh? So that means that it did not add our custom post to the database. So let's scroll back up and see why. Oh, that's because I said if it equals 0. That's why it didn't show anything. So let's just say if it's greater than 0, show something, because it is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, if the count is greater than 0, you know what? Actually, let's just go ahead and pull it out of the if statement altogether, because we know we have a post in there. And if we don't, that means it's not adding it up above, which we'll have to deal with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Still an empty array, huh? Hey guys, so I was just troubleshooting real quick why it wasn't adding my custom post, and then I realized, duh, the reason why it's not adding is because I disabled the text box that has the package key in it, and by default in HTML it will not send that data through. So and in order for a custom post in WordPress to contain the custom, or in order for it to add a post, it has to have both the title and the content. And guess what the content is? Yeah, you guessed it. It's the package key. So unfortunately, in order to make it work, I have to enable that box, which really isn't a big deal. I was just kind of doing it as a way to keep the user from messing anything up, but ultimately it's not really a big deal. So we'll just re-enable that. The box as the key, which is pretty funny. I just went in circles like, why is it not adding my custom post? It's so strange. And I was like, oh, that's right. That's right. So let's do it again. Let's add our source, and then it's going to show up right here. All right, there it is. So pretty simple. There it is, post ID, author, all the information. There's the post content is the key. Post title is the Home Depot. And then it's going to have some post meta as well. Post type, it does have accessible meta as well, which is in our code. We added some meta up top. And we'll get it in the next video, but I added some meta right here too, which was the source key. So we could also, as we circle through them, we could be like a for each loop, for each custom post. And if we just take that from over here, we could do that. But in this particular case, I'm not going to do it because this video is already like 15 minutes. But as you guys can see, we're now adding a custom post for our items. So we can actually take away that print R and this little PHP test we did right here. There it is. And what we can do is add a message to the top. We're probably going to end up adding a custom message section up top that shows the user when they've successfully added or done something. It'll have like a message area, or maybe even right here it will. But actually what we're going to make it do is when a user has just added a new package, it's going to automatically bring the page back like this and like this. And then it's going to have the package already pre-pulled up and the information ready to go, so that this user can just get right to adding in their new package information. So hey, I think we're gonna wrap it up right there. We just created a nice custom post for our new information. As you can see, it's working perfect, and that's gonna allow us to move forward into editing, adding more meta, and being able to actually start adding commands to this thing. So I'm getting pretty excited, guys. I really am, because we're going to be able to actually start changing some sites and stuff, and then I can actually get this thing wrapped up, put it together, and actually submit it to the WordPress.org. We still have a ways to go before that, but anyway, hey, once again, like I always say, if you aren't subscribed, just what are you doing? Subscribe, will you? Because it really helps out, and it keeps me motivated to keep making cool videos and showing you guys stuff. And if you are subscribed already, you are cool, and thanks for subscribing, and I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.